I tend to disagree with people when they call D&D a game. I think it's a system. I think it's
Yeah.
like a framework, and the game is like the story or campaign that the DM comes up with. Like the DM makes the game, they just use a system.
I like
Yeah,
this.
it's like it's mostly combat and then a lot of like in terms of the system and then just a
Yeah.
lot of like random things like economy.
But do you feel
Yeah.
like there are like, I mean, people swear, I don't know, because I also don't know about like different editions of D&D and like, but some people are like really into like the more recent versions of D&D, and some people swear by older versions. And then there are like, I mean, there are some classes that it's kind of like, oh, this is a little broken, don't you think? Or like,
Yeah.
oh, this is overpowered. Would you consider that perfect? Or like, because if then the responsibility falls on the DM or the player to balance, then like, is that technically like I guess what is like perfect?
Because you're telling a story, you should know your own role and you are not supposed to be it's not supposed to be easy, or like you're not supposed to be able to one shot the enemies or things like that. Like everyone has a different role, and like really like you could be a cleric and your role could just be healing people. So when people are concerned with balance, like some people just might do more damage and some people might just do different things. As long as you tie it to the story in a satisfying way, I think.
I guess then
what's
it's the
important.
player's fault. Like you have to pick the class that suits the kind of game you want to play. But then it shouldn't be like, if you want to be like, well, then you can multi-class. I don't know. Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
think that point ties back excellently to my earlier take, which caused much discourse about, which I now learned is called min-maxing, not meta building.
Mhm.
Where like, yeah, it exists, but it is not a positive aspect of the game. And like, you may think it's fun, but then you actually apply it, and it's the player's fault because it takes away from what it's supposed to be.
But that also goes to like some people, part of my take, like some people want a min-maxed game. And if you have a table of people who are like, I want to play a video game where like we just try to beat all the hardest monsters, then I feel like that means D&D is a perfect game because it has something for everyone. You just
That's
have
fair.
to be in the right situation with the right people who have the similar goal of like.
So it's a perfect system because it allows for it. It depends on the game you're playing, how the system's applied and utilized.
It might be a perfect system.